A very good morning to you, guys. Today, we need to look at the software development life cycle. Software development life cycle, or shortened to SDLC. Okay. Now, software development life cycle is a process used by the software industry to design, develop, and test high quality software. Okay. So the software development life cycle, or SDLC, aims to produce a high quality software that meets or exceeds customer expectations, reaches completion within times and cost estimates. So we are saying an ideal software is a one it exceeds the customer expectations. What am I saying? A customer needs a software that does A, B, C, D. You should actually produce a solution that exceeds what he or she was expecting. Alright? That should be a good software. It should reach completion within times. If you're given a solution, if you estimate that maybe it will take you maybe 3 months as a developing company or a company which develops solutions, you should make sure that within those timelines, your software is ready for the client. Okay? And cost estimates, whatever you budgeted for should be enough for you to develop the solution. We wouldn't want scenarios whereby you estimate that it will need maybe $10,000 and you revise later, you say no, it's now 25,000. So the software should be within the cost estimate. Okay. So like I told you, that SDLC is the acronym for software development life cycle. It is also called as software development process. Okay. And the SDLC is a framework defining tasks performed at each step in the software development process. So SDLC, we are saying that's the framework that we follow. It has got the necessary steps that we should take into consideration before developing a software solution. Okay. Then we have what is known as the ISO or IEC 12207 or 12207, which is an international standard for software lifecycle processes. So this one, it aims to be the standard that defines all the tasks required for developing and maintaining a software. All right. Now, what is this SDLC? What is SDLC? What is this SDLC? So SDLC, or software development life cycle, is a process followed for a software project within a software organization. Okay. So I can write this down as is a process followed. Is a process followed for a software project, within a software organization, comma, within a software organization. Okay, so it consists of a detailed plan describing how to develop, maintain, replace, and alter or enhance specific software. So the life cycle defines a methodology for improving the quality of software and the overall development process. So let's look at the following figure, which is a graphical representation of the various stages of a typical software development life cycle. So the software development life cycle has got planning. So let me write the stages first. We've got planning. We've got defining. We've got designing. We've got building. We've got testing. We've got deployment. Okay. So now circle all these. This is SDLC. Okay, so after planning, we define, we design, we build, we test, we deploy, and it goes on and on like that. So a typical software development life cycle consists of the following stages. Now I need to actually explain the stages. So stage one. Stage one, we have what is known as planning and requirement analysis. Planning and requirement analysis. Now, requirement analysis is the most important and fundamental stage in the software development life cycle, or SDLC. It is performed by the senior members of the team with inputs from the customer, the sales department, the market surveys, and domain experts in the industry. So here we're saying, by saying the inputs from the customer, you're saying, what is it that the customer wants? Okay? What is it that the customer wants? The customer wants a solution which does A, B, C, D. Okay? The sales department, the guys who are selling, they really know what people want out there. Okay? With the experts in the field, etc. So this information is then used to plan the basic project approach and to conduct product feasibility study in the economical, operational, and technical areas. All right, now there's a word of interest, feasibility study. We are saying, is the project doable? Is it economically possible? Because we would want a scenario whereby we want to embark on a project, maybe that needs expertise which is not within our country. It means maybe we would have to hire someone from maybe Egypt. Maybe that's the person who knows how to go about it. But will it be economically feasible? How much will it cost us to hire maybe a developer from Egypt or so? So we have to also consider that during our feasibility study. Okay? Economically, is it feasible? Maybe we need 5 million for that project. And what is our budget? Maybe our budget is 100,000. So economically, our project won't be feasible. Okay? At times, the solution might be very complex for the user, that it might not be technically feasible. Okay? So that's what we will be looking at analysis stage. Now, planning for the quality assurance requirements. Planning for the quality assurance requirements and identification of the risk associated with the project is also done in the planning stage. Now, what are the risks associated with the project? Okay, that has to be assessed also at the planning stage. The outcome of the technical feasibility study to define the various technical approaches that can be followed to implement the project successfully with minimum risk. All right. This is done at the planning stage. The next stage, which is stage number 2, is defining requirements. Defining requirements. All right. When defining requirements, we are saying once the requirement analysis is done, like at the first step, the next step is to clearly define and document the product requirements and get them approved from the customer or the market analyst. Okay? Now, this is done through what is known as the SRS. SRS stands for Software Requirement Specification. Software Requirements Specification. Okay. So this document consists of all the product requirements to be designed and developed during the project life cycle. So if you're provided with the SRS document as a developer, you now know what really needs to be done. What is it that the software will do, etc. So this is what is done. It's defining requirements. We move to stage 3. At stage 3, we'll be looking at designing the product architecture. Designing the product architecture. Okay. Now, the SRS is the reference for product architects to come out with the best architecture for the product to be developed. All right. So it is more like the output at one stage is the input to the next stage. Like if you have noticed, the output at defining requirements was the SRS document, which was being used in the next stage. All right. So based on the requirements specified in the SRS or the software requirement specification, usually more than one design approach for the product architecture is proposed, and documentation in a DDS, or what is known as the design document specification. So DDS is more like the output at the designing the product architecture phase. So this DDS reviewed by all the important stakeholders, and based on various parameters is risk assessment, product robustness, design modularity, budget, and time constraints. The best design approach is selected for the product. Okay, so by stakeholders we mean all the people or the personnel who are interested in the project. Let me give you a very good example. Let's say we need to develop a hotel management system. A hotel management system, the stakeholders there will be the organization which is developing the project, where people like their employees, the customer who is going to use that thing. Those are examples of stakeholders. Okay. So a design approach clearly defines all the architectural modules of the product, along with its communication and data flow representation with the external and third-party modules, if any. All right. So the internal design of all the modules of the proposed architecture should be clearly defined with the minutest of the details in the DDS. Okay. Now we move to stage 4. Stage 4. Stage 4 is concerned with building or developing the product. Building or developing the product. All right, building or developing the product. This is stage 4. So in this stage of SDLC or software development lifecycle, the actual development starts and the product is built. That's when the programmers start coding, writing scripts. Okay. So the programming code is generated as per DDS during this stage. So design document specification is the one that we'll be using at this point in time. So if the design is performed in a detailed and organized manner, code generation can be accomplished without much hassle. So the programmers will be now writing the scripts, doing their job. So developers must follow the coding guidelines defined by their organization, and the programming tools like compilers, interpreters, debuggers, etc. are used to generate the code. We have different high-level programming languages such as C, C++, Pascal, Java and PHP, these ones are used for coding. A high-level language, we are saying it is a language which is understood by the compiler of a computer. So the programming language is chosen with respect to the type of software being developed. Okay? Let's say you are developing a software like a game. Languages like C++ are highly preferred. Then if you are developing things like applications, mobile applications, maybe you can use languages like Java, etc. Okay? Now we move to the stage 5. Stage 5 is concerned with testing the product. Testing the product. Now, when testing the product, this stage is usually a subset of all the stages as in the modern software development lifecycle models. The testing activities are mostly involved in all the stages of software development lifecycle. However, this stage refers to the testing only stage of the product where product defects are reported, tracked, fixed, and retested until the product reaches the quality standards defined in the SRS document. So we are saying at each stage of development or stage in the software development life cycle, modules are being tested. All right. After development, whereby the project is now being built, each module is being tested. Let's say it was a login module. It will be tested to see whether it denies wrong input, etc. So each and every module is tested. That's the reason why they've said it's more like it's a subset of all the stages here, because each and every stage is being tested to see if it complies with the SRS document. The SRS document, it's a software requirement specification document. So we are now saying, can a software anzi icha register one? Is it registering people? Like from our SRS document. Can a software anzi icha aid NESM system? Is it really aiding the NES? Can anzi ichange ichita login? Is the login going well? Is it successful? Let's say munakada kuti paro kuda ma characters akaisa ma numbers. Inofana kuramba. Is it being validated? Okay. Inofana kutaura kuti input iri panapa panongopinda ma characters, not ma numbers, etc. So all those things are done at testing the product. Now we move on to stage 6. That's deployment in the market and maintenance. Deployment in the market and deployment in the market and maintenance. So we are saying once the product is tested and ready to be deployed, ready to be deployed, it is released formally in the appropriate market. Sometimes product deployment happens in stages as per the business strategy of the organization. The product may first be released in a limited segment and tested in the real business environment, which is known as UAT, or user acceptance testing. So we are saying, by deploying a project in a small market segment, we are trying to see, before we publicize it, maybe on a global scale, that is this project ideal, ayine ma problems, ayine to my bugs or to my mistakes. Because imagine, to launch our product to the whole world, tichingotanga, then we realize that project yedu inema errors. Imagine what would the globe say about our application or our product. So that's why my businesses mazhinji achitanga ambo pachangono pakana ma relatives ake umbonoti app inoshanda sei kana ine ma errors overfixwa before ya deploy into the actual market. Okay, so then based on this feedback from this small market segment, the product may be released as it is or with suggested enhancement in the targeting market segment. After the product is released in the market, its maintenance is done for the existing customer base. All right, yakuchimaintain wamanji yakongoti no haina ma problems kana ine ma problems over inienzwa vagadziriswa before yaendeswa to the actual target market. Okay, so basically all these are the stages that are involved in the development in the software life cycle or software development life cycle. Okay, now we need to look at SDLC models. SDLC models. Software development lifecycle models. So there are various software development lifecycle models defined and designed which are followed during the software development process. These models are also referred as software development process models. Each model follows a series of steps unique to its type to ensure success in the process of software development. So the following are the most important and popular software development lifecycle models followed in the industry. Number one, we have what is known as the waterfall model. Okay. Number two, we have what is known as the iterative model. Number three, we have what is known as the spiral model. Number four, we have what is known as the Big Bang model. All right. But in the next tutorial, we are only going to look at the waterfall model as per your syllabus requirements. These other ones, you should know them, but they are not within your syllabus. So you should just go through them for interest's sake. But in your syllabus, we are going to look at the waterfall model in the next tutorial. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to let me know at 0784 002 002. And also don't forget to like and subscribe on my YouTube channel. Goodbye.